Sophia lived in a small town nestled between mountains and fields. Her days were quiet, spent working in the town library and gazing out of her apartment window at the endless sky. One evening, while walking home, she noticed something unusual. A man was sitting on a bench in the park, sketching furiously in a notebook. She hesitated, but felt drawn to him. "That's beautiful," she said, noticing the detailed drawing of a starry sky in his book. The man looked up, startled. His dark eyes met hers, and for a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. "Thank you," he said softly. "I'm Julian." Sophia smiled. "I'm Sophia. Do you draw often?" "Only when the sky speaks to me," he replied, his words cryptic but intriguing. Sophia found herself sitting beside him, watching as he added strokes of light to the stars. She didn't realize it then, but this meeting would change her life forever. Over the next few weeks, Sophia and Julian became inseparable. They met every evening in the park, where Julian would draw and Sophia would bring books to read. One night, as they gazed at the sky, Julian said, "Do you believe the stars hold secrets?" Sophia laughed softly. "I think they're just stars, beautiful but silent." Julian shook his head. "They speak, but not everyone listens." He handed her a small, glowing stone he had pulled from his pocket. "Hold this while you look at the stars tonight." Sophia held the stone, feeling its warmth. The sky above seemed to shimmer, the stars brighter than ever. She blinked and thought she saw them move, forming shapes she didn't recognize. "What is this?" she asked, her voice trembling. "It's a key," Julian said, "to a world we can only see together." That night, Sophia dreamed of stars that glowed brighter than the sun. They moved to form a doorway, shimmering in the dark expanse of the universe. When she woke up, Julian was waiting for her at the park. He had a telescope set up and the glowing stone in his hand. "Are you ready to see it for yourself?" he asked. Sophia hesitated but nodded. Julian placed the stone in her hand and guided her to look through the telescope. The stars she had seen in her dream were there, shimmering and alive. But this time, the doorway seemed closer. "Can we go there?" she whispered. Julian smiled. "Only if we're brave enough." That evening, Julian and Sophia stood on a hill overlooking the town. Julian held the glowing stone high, and the stars above began to shift. The doorway she had seen appeared, a shimmering frame of light against the night sky. "Are you sure about this?" she asked. "Together, we can do anything," Julian replied, holding out his hand. Sophia took his hand, and as they stepped forward, the world around them dissolved. For a moment, there was only light. Then, they were standing in a vast expanse of sky, surrounded by floating islands of stars and light. "This is incredible," Sophia said, her voice filled with wonder. Julian nodded. "Welcome to the Starfields." The Starfields were unlike anything Sophia had ever imagined. The ground beneath their feet was soft and luminous, as though they were walking on clouds. The air was filled with the hum of energy, and the stars seemed close enough to touch. Julian led her to a crystalline structure in the distance. It glowed faintly, its surface reflecting the endless sky around it. "This is the observatory," he said. "It's where I first learned to listen to the stars." Inside, they found a room filled with glowing maps and intricate tools. Julian showed her a map that seemed to change as they watched, new constellations forming before their eyes. "The Starfields are alive," he explained. "They respond to the people who visit, reflecting their dreams and fears." Sophia felt a warmth in her chest, the realization dawning on her that this place wasn't just magical, it was deeply connected to who they were. Sophia traced her fingers over the glowing map, her heart racing. The constellations seemed to shift and form patterns she didn't recognize, but felt strangely familiar. "What are they showing us?" she asked. Julian smiled. "The stars reflect our hearts. They reveal truths we may not even know ourselves." Sophia turned to him. "What truth did they show you?" Julian hesitated, his gaze fixed on the map. "They showed me you," he said softly. Sophia's breath caught. "Me?" He nodded. Before we met, I had dreams of this place, but I could never reach it. Then, you came into my life, and the stars began to move again. They only respond to harmony, to connections that matter. Sophia felt her cheeks flush. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, Julian replied. Just let the stars guide you. As they walked through the Starfields, Sophia noticed other glowing crystals scattered across the landscape. Each one seemed to pulse gently, like a heartbeat. What are these? She asked, kneeling to touch one. They're memories, Julian explained. Fragments of those who've been here before us. They leave pieces of themselves behind, and the stars protect them. Sophia picked up a crystal, and images flooded her mind. A woman laughing with her child, a man painting under a golden sky, a couple dancing beneath the stars. It's beautiful, she said, her voice trembling. It's like they're alive. They are, Julian said. And so are we in their memories now. Sophia smiled, realizing that their journey was becoming a part of the Starfield story, etched into the constellations for others to find. As they explored further, Sophia noticed the glow of the Starfields dimming. The stars seemed to flicker, their light growing weaker. What's happening? She asked, panic rising in her chest. Julian frowned. The Starfields are connected to us. If we lose faith, their light fades. Sophia thought back to her life before meeting Julian, the loneliness, the routine. She realized she was afraid this magic wasn't real, that it would disappear when they returned home. Julian placed a hand on her shoulder. You have to believe, Sophia. The stars need you to trust them, to trust yourself. Sophia closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She focused on the warmth of Julian's hand, the beauty of the Starfields, and the connection they shared. Slowly, the light returned, brighter and more vibrant than before. Standing under the glowing constellations, Julian turned to Sophia. The stars have one last gift for us, he said. What is it? She asked. Julian held out the glowing stone, now pulsing with a golden light. It's a promise, a way to carry the Starfields with us wherever we go. Sophia took the stone, feeling its warmth spread through her fingers. The stars above seemed to form a new constellation, one that looked like two figures holding hands. It's us, she whispered. Julian nodded. As long as we carry this light, we'll always be connected to the stars and to each other. Sophia smiled, her heart full. I promise to keep the light alive. The doorway to their world appeared once more, shimmering against the night sky. Sophia and Julian stepped through, hand in hand, and found themselves back on the hill overlooking the town. The stars above looked the same, yet everything felt different. Sophia held the glowing stone close, its warmth reminding her of the Starfields. Do you think we'll ever go back? She asked. Julian smiled. The Starfields aren't just out there, they're within us now. Every time we look at the sky, we'll feel them. As they walked down the hill together, Sophia felt a sense of peace she had never known. She realized the stars hadn't just brought her to a magical world, they had brought her closer to herself and to Julian. That night, as she gazed out of her window, the stars seemed to wink at her, as if sharing a secret. And Sophia knew their story was far from over.